I was sitting alone in my living room when the front door exploded inward. I jumped to my feet. Armed officers rushed inside, weapons raised. "Get on your knees." I froze. The uniforms told me everything. Intelligence division. My own people. I slowly raised my hands. "What is this?" Nobody answered. 3 officers surrounded me while another locked the door behind them. I looked at the officer in front. "Captain, lower your weapon." He shook his head. "Ethan Vale, you are under arrest." My stomach tightened. Under arrest for what? The officer pulled out a document. Treason. Unauthorized disclosure of classified information. Cooperation with an enemy organization. For a few seconds, I could not speak. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny, because I thought there had to be some mistake. "You have the wrong man. I have served this country for 12 years. The officer stared at me. "Kneel." I slowly dropped to one knee. My mind raced. Someone had planned this. Someone had used my name, my records, my missions. But who could have access to all of it? Then I heard footsteps behind me. I knew those footsteps. I turned. Mara walked into the room. My wife. My heart sank. She was wearing her official intelligence uniform. Her face was calm. Too calm. "Mara." She stopped a few feet away. "Ethan, what is happening?" "You already know." She looked at the officers. "Read the order." I stared at her. "You signed it?" She did not answer. "Mara, look at me." Her eyes finally met mine. "I need you to come quietly." I almost smiled. "Come quietly?" "You send armed officers into our home, accuse me of treason, and then ask me to come quietly?" "Ethan, please." "No." My voice became harder. "Tell me what I did." "You leaked classified information." "To whom?" "We have evidence." "What evidence?" She held the document tighter. I took a step toward her. "You know me. You know exactly what I have done for this country. That is why this hurts." Her voice was barely above a whisper. "Then stop acting like a stranger and tell me the truth." I could see something in her eyes. Fear. For one second, I thought she might tell me everything. Instead, she looked away. I did not betray anyone. The officer behind me grabbed my arm. I pulled away. "Do not touch me." Mara raised one hand. "Ethan, do not make this worse." "Worse?" I looked at her. My wife was standing there while strangers pointed guns at me. What could possibly be worse? She closed her eyes for a moment. I saw her hands trembling. That tiny movement gave me hope. "You do not believe this, do you?" She stayed silent. "Mara." "Nothing." "Do you really believe I betrayed my country?" Her lips parted. No answer came. I felt something inside me break. Not because of the accusation, because she could not look me in the eyes and deny it. "Fine." I stopped resisting. The officers pulled my arms behind my back. Cold metal closed around my wrists. I looked down at the arrest document lying on the table. Something caught my attention. A small code appeared beneath the authorization seal. My breathing stopped. I knew that code. Only a handful of people in the entire intelligence system should know it. That code was connected to one of my oldest classified operations. Someone had built this case using information from my own missions. Someone wanted me to look guilty. And whoever had done it knew exactly how I worked. I looked at Mara again. "You know this code." Her expression changed. Just for a second. Then it disappeared. "Mara, who gave you this file?" She said nothing. "Who gave you the evidence?" Still nothing. The officers began dragging me toward the door. I kept my eyes on her. "If you believe I am guilty, say it." She looked at me. I waited. "Say it." Her eyes filled with tears. I had never seen Mara look so broken. But she still did not stop them. The door opened. I was pushed outside. Then I heard her voice behind me. "I'm sorry, Ethan." I stopped. For one final second, I hoped she would change her mind. She did not. "Take him away." The officers pulled me forward. I looked back at my home, then at the woman I had trusted with my life. As the door closed behind me, one thought burned through my mind. Someone had planned my arrest, and Mara knew more than she was telling me. I spent the next 6 hours in a room with no windows. A metal table stood between me and General Marcus Hale. He dropped a folder in front of me. "Open it, Ethan." I did not move. "You know why I am here. I know why you were arrested. Then you know this is a mistake." Hale opened the folder. "Look at the first photograph." I glanced down. A warehouse. I knew it immediately. That location was part of an operation I handled 5 years ago. "You were there," Hale said. "The shipment contained classified equipment." According to our records, you sold the details to a foreign contact. I looked up. That is not what happened. Then explain it. I cannot explain a lie built from a real mission. He pushed another photograph toward me. What about this? A meeting room appeared in the picture. I remember that meeting too. You were there, I said. So were 6 other officers. But you were the only one who knew the access code. I leaned back. Who told you that? Your own records. No. I pointed at the photograph. That code was changed before the meeting. Whoever prepared this file used an old version. Hale stared at me. You expect me to believe you over the evidence? I expect you to check the evidence. He opened another file. Financial transfers, bank records, encrypted messages, surveillance footage. Everything was arranged perfectly. Too perfectly. I watched the footage in silence. There I was, entering a building. There I was, speaking to a supposed foreign agent. There I was, leaving with a briefcase. I looked at Hale. The footage is real. So are the records. But the story is fake. How can you be so certain? Because I remember every mission. I pointed at the screen. That building was a safe house. The man you called a foreign agent was one of ours. And that briefcase contained medical supplies. Hale folded his arms. Convenient. No. Familiar. Someone took pieces of my past and changed what they meant. Hale leaned closer. Who? I don't know. But I know one thing. Someone had access to classified records. Someone who knew where I had been, who I had met, and what I had carried. He closed the folder. Think carefully before you answer the next question. Did Mara know about these missions? I looked away. She knew enough. Enough to build this case. My jaw tightened. Apparently. The door opened. I turned and saw Captain Noah Reed. He looked at Hale. General, may I speak with Ethan? 5 minutes. Hale left. Noah waited until the door closed. Then he whispered, I don't believe it. You should not be here. I had to see you. Noah, listen to me. Stay away from this. I can help. You cannot help me if they decide you are involved. He shook his head. You train me. I know what kind of man you are. Then you know I would never sell my country. I know. He lowered his voice. Someone inside the agency is moving against you. I already figured that out. Do you know who? Not yet. Noah stepped closer. Then let me find out. No. Why? Because they already took me. I will not let them take you too. He looked angry. You are my commander. Not anymore. You are still my friend. I had no answer. After he left, the door opened again. Elena walked in carrying a legal file. My sister stopped when she saw me. Ethan. I stood. Elena came closer. What did they do to you? I am fine. Do not lie to me. I looked at her. They think I committed treason. I know. Who told you? Your wife. The words hit harder than the interrogation. Mara contacted you? She approved the evidence package. I stared at her. Say that again. Mara personally approved everything. My chest tightened. Are you sure? I checked the authorization myself. She signed it. Elena reached across the table. You always protected everyone. I looked at her. Who protects you now? I had no answer. For the first time, I stopped thinking about the people who had built the case. I thought about the woman who knew every secret I had ever carried. Mara knew my missions. Mara knew my codes. Mara knew my habits. And Mara had signed the order that called me a traitor. My grief hardened into anger. If someone wanted to destroy me, they had chosen the worst possible person to betray. They had chosen the man who finally had nothing left to lose. I looked at Elena and made one promise. I would uncover the truth, even if it destroyed my marriage. I stared at the ceiling of my cell and remembered the first night Mara and I met. You look angry, she had told me. I was tired. You always this serious? Only when someone keeps asking questions. She had laughed. That laugh was the first thing I loved about her. Years later, I could still hear it. I remembered our wedding, our first apartment, the nights we ate cheap food because neither of us wanted to waste money. Mara had always been ambitious. I knew that. She wanted power because she believed she could use it to protect people. I tossed it here. That was my mistake. Elena returned the next morning with a laptop. I found something, she said. What? Several files were altered before Mara received them. How many? 6. 6? She nodded. The original versions are different from the evidence used against you. I sat forward. Then Mara did not create the case. Maybe she did not know what she was signing. I wanted to believe that. But she signed my arrest order. I know. She looked at me carefully. Ethan, there's something else. What? The altered files were routed through an internal intelligence server. Whose account? We cannot identify it yet. So someone inside the agency changed my records before Mara saw them. Exactly. I looked down. That changed everything. If Mara had been manipulated, then my anger had been aimed at the wrong person. But she still chose to arrest me. She still watched them put handcuffs on me. I could understand fear. I could not excuse betrayal. That afternoon, Noah found a way to send me a message. Do not trust the agency network. Why? Because someone has been watching you for years. I read the attached report. My name appeared again and again. Surveillance, travel records, private communications, old missions, even meetings with Mara. How long? Noah had written underneath the report. At least 7 years. 7 years? Someone had been studying my life before my arrest was ever planned. I closed my eyes. Then another message appeared. Look at the account names. I scanned the list. Most were fake. One was familiar. Daniel Rook. I knew him. Senior government advisor. Political strategist. And someone who had spent years standing close to the intelligence leadership. I sent Noah one question. Why is Rook watching me? His answer came quickly. I do not know, but he's been meeting Mara. My hands tightened around the tablet. Mara and Daniel? I wanted to believe there was an innocent explanation. There was none. Meanwhile, Elena continued digging. She found security footage showing Mara entering Daniel's private office 2 days before my arrest. What happened inside? I asked. I do not know, she said, but I found something worse. She showed me another file. Lucas Vale, Mara's younger brother. What about him? Daniel has information about an old operation involving Lucas. I felt a cold pressure in my chest. What kind of operation? An intelligence operation that went wrong. Was Lucas involved? Apparently. And Daniel knows. Elena looked at me. He has been using that secret to pressure Mara. I stared at the screen. So she was threatened. Maybe. I rubbed my face. That explains her fear. It does not erase what she did. I know. For the first time, I felt something more painful than anger. Doubt. Maybe Mara had not betrayed me because she wanted power. Maybe someone had trapped her. But if she had been trapped, why had she never warned me? Why had she chosen silence? I was still asking those questions when Elena suddenly stopped typing. Ethan, what? Look at this. She turned the laptop toward me. An encrypted message had appeared inside an old intelligence archive. I recognized the encryption instantly. It was my code, the code I had created years ago. I read the message. If Ethan is arrested, the second operation has already begun. My blood went cold. I looked at Elena. Who sent this? She shook her head. I do not know. I stared at those words again. Someone had expected my arrest. Someone knew it would happen. And someone had planned what came next. I finally understood that my arrest was not the operation. It was the beginning. Can you trace it? I can try. She nodded. If this message is real, someone knew about the arrest before it happened. We need to know who gave Mara the order. And if the answer is Daniel, I stop asking why my wife betrayed me. I start asking what she was forced to protect. If Daniel controlled Mara, he had made a mistake. I was no longer fighting for name. I was fighting for truth. This time, I would find answers myself. The detention facility changed when the doors opened. I heard boots moving quickly outside my cell. Then General Hale entered. Stay where you are, he ordered. I looked at him. What happened? The defense minister is here. My stomach tightened. Why? Hale avoided my eyes. To approve your transfer. I laughed once again. Transfer where? A secure military prison. Before I could answer, another voice came from the hallway. No transfer. The room went silent. Minister Adrian Cross walked inside. Guard stepped aside. Hale straightened immediately. Minister. Cross ignored him. He walked toward me. I was still wearing prison clothes. My wrists were locked in steel cuffs. I stared at him. Why are you here? Cross stopped directly in front of me. Then he raised his hand. He gave me a formal military salute. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. I stared at him, confused. Cross lowered his hand. Commander Vale, I apologize for taking so long to expose them. My mind went blank. Commander? Hale stepped forward. Minister, Ethan Vale is under arrest for treason. Cross turned toward him. I know. Then you know what he did? I know exactly what he did. Hale pointed at me. He sold classified information. Cross looked back at me. Did you? No. Cross nodded once. I know. I looked at him. How? Because I gave you the orders. I felt the room tilt. What orders? Cross stepped closer. The orders you received before your retirement. I stared at him. My retirement? You were never discharged. I could barely speak. That is impossible. Cross shook his head. Your discharge papers were created for one reason. What reason? To make the enemy believe you were gone. Hale looked confused. What enemy? Cross finally faced him. Black Meridian. The name hit me. I had heard it once. A shadow network. A group rumored to exist inside government offices, intelligence agencies, and military command. I looked across. You knew about them? For years. And you never told me? I did not need to. You gave me reports. I remembered those missions. The unexplained transfers. The strange targets. The people who vanished from official records. Those were not separate operations. No, they were connected. I looked at Hale. Then my arrest was part of this? Cross answered. Yes. Why? Because Black Meridian had become careful. They stopped communicating. They stopped making mistakes. So we needed them to react. And you used me. We used your reputation. Cross's voice remained calm. Everyone believed you were untouchable. Then suddenly, you became a traitor. I looked down at my cuffs. So they would come after me. Exactly. I felt anger rising again. And Mara? Cross did not answer immediately. That silence told me enough. She was not supposed to sign the order. My chest tightened. But she did. Yes. Why? We believe she has been compromised. I shook my head. You think she is innocent? No. The answer came without hesitation. I felt something break inside me again. Then what am I supposed to believe? Believe the evidence we can prove. Cross turned toward Hale. Show him the original authorization. Hale hesitated. Minister, that document is classified. Cross stared at him. I am the authority that classified it. Hale slowly handed him a file. Cross opened it and placed one page in front of me. I recognized the seal. This order kept your identity protected. And now someone exposed it. I looked across. Who? We're still finding out. I laughed bitterly. You expect me to trust you after keeping me in a cell? I expect you to trust what I can prove. He reached for my cuffs. The guards looked at Hale. Hale hesitated. Release him. The cuffs opened. My hands were finally free. I rubbed my wrists and looked across. What happens now? Now, Commander, we stopped pretending your arrest was a failure. I waited. It was the trap. And it worked. My eyes moved around the room. Hale looked nervous. The guards looked uncertain. Cross continued. Someone inside this government thought they had finally removed you from the board. I looked down. Instead, they forced Black Meridian to move. And now they're panicking. I felt the anger inside me settle into something colder. I had spent days believing my life had collapsed. My wife had betrayed me. My career was destroyed. My name had become poison. But I finally understood. My arrest was never the end. It was the trap. I looked across. Tell me where we start. He gave me a faint smile. We start with the people who thought you were finished. For the first time since Mara put those handcuffs on me, I felt hope. Not forgiveness. Not peace. Something sharper. Purpose. Freedom felt strange after days behind steel doors. Adrian met me in a secure office. From this moment, you are officially still a prisoner. Then why am I standing here? Because everyone must believe you remain locked away. Including Mara? Especially Mara. I looked at him. You want me to work while pretending to be detained? I want you to find Black Meridian. And if I refuse? Adrian gave me a tired look. Then your arrest becomes real. I almost smiled. You really know how to motivate people. I left the room that night under a false identity. 3 hours later, Mara found me. She entered the safe house alone. I stood across from her. You are alive. You sound surprised. I thought they killed you. They almost did. She looked at my wrists. I followed her eyes. Do you remember these? Her face tightened. Ethan, please. No. You came here. You wanted to talk. I need to explain. Then explain why you signed the order. She looked down. I had no choice. I stepped closer. You always had a choice. Her eyes filled with tears. You just did not choose me. She flinched. I never wanted you arrested. But you signed the paper. I was trying to keep you alive. By calling me a traitor? Daniel gave me no other option. I stared at her. Daniel Rook? She nodded. He knew about Lucas. What about him? Lucas owes him. Owes him what? Mara swallowed. Years ago, Lucas was involved in an intelligence operation that failed. Daniel covered it up. Then he found the evidence. And he used it against you. Yes. What did he threaten to do? He said Lucas would disappear if I refused to cooperate. I felt my anger weaken, but it did not disappear. So you sacrificed me to save your brother. I sacrificed my soul trying to save both of you. Then why did you hide the truth? Because Daniel was watching everyone around me, including me, especially you. I looked away. I wanted to forgive her. I could not. You should have trusted me. I did. No. You trusted fear. She wiped her eyes. There's more. What? I cannot tell you yet. My patience broke. After everything, you still have secrets? I'm trying to protect you. I stepped back. That excuse is exactly what put me in handcuffs. Mara lowered her voice. I am sorry. I wanted those words to fix something. They did not. Before she left, I asked one question. Do you still love me? She stared at me for several seconds. Yes. Then why does loving you feel like being hunted? She had no answer. The next morning, Elena brought me another problem. A journalist contacted me. Her name is Clara Wynn. I know her. She has investigated government corruption for years. What does she want? She says Black Meridian is real. Elena placed a file on the table. Clara found financial transfers connecting Daniel to several government officials. How many? 7. Any inside Adrian's ministry? 1. I opened the file. The name made me stop. Victor Soren, intelligence operative. Adrian's own ministry had someone feeding Daniel information. I looked at Elena. Are you certain? Clara says she has records. Records can be forged. She knows. That is why she wants to meet you. I stood. Where? Tonight. I checked the clock. Then we moved fast. Elena grabbed my arm. Ethan, this person may be dangerous. So am I. I gathered the files. For the first time, I was not waiting for someone to rescue me. I was hunting. I contacted Adrian. We have a possible leak inside your ministry. Who? Victor Soren. There was silence. Then Adrian answered. Do not approach him. Why? Because if Victor is guilty, he will know we are coming. And if he is innocent, then someone wants us to believe he is guilty. Exactly. I ended the call. Noah was supposed to meet me 10 minutes later. He never arrived. I called him. No answer. Again. Nothing. Then his phone finally connected. I heard breathing. Noah? A strange voice answered. Stop looking for your friend. My blood turned cold. Who are you? The call ended. I stared at the dead screen. Mara had betrayed me. Daniel had threatened her. Someone inside the ministry was leaking information. And now Noah was gone. I knew that meant someone had noticed I was alive, and they were no longer afraid. They wanted me angry. They wanted me reckless. I would give them neither. I would give them something worse. Patience. I closed my hand around the phone. This was no longer about clearing my name. They had taken my friend. Now I was coming for them. Noah's disappearance changed something inside me. I wanted Daniel dead. I wanted everyone who destroyed my life to feel my fear. Adrian stopped me before I could leave. You are thinking about revenge. I am thinking about finding Noah. You're thinking about both. I looked at him. If I find Daniel, I will not hesitate. That is exactly what he wants. I stepped closer. Then tell me what you want me to do. Think. I have been thinking for days. No. You have been reacting. Anger makes you predictable. I hated hearing that. I walked away anyway. Within hours, I traced Noah's last signal to an abandoned intelligence facility outside the city. I entered alone. Then I found blood on the floor. Noah. I followed the trail into a locked room. He was lying against the wall, barely conscious. I rushed to him. Noah, wake up. His eyes opened slowly. Ethan? I'm here. You shouldn't have come. I pulled the restraints from his wrists. Who did this? He struggled to breathe. They wanted information. About what? Black Meridian. What did you tell them? Nothing. Stay awake. I found something, he whispered. What? Their leader. Who is it? He grabbed my sleeve. Victor isn't a traitor. I froze. What did you say? Victor. He tried to protect me. Before I could ask anything else, footsteps echoed outside. I reached for my weapon. A man entered through the doorway. Victor Soren. Put the gun down, Ethan. I aimed at him. You have 5 seconds. Victor raised both hands. If I want to know a dead, he would already be dead. Then explain yourself. I have been protecting him. Why should I believe you? Because I was the one who moved him here after Daniel's men left. I lower my weapon slightly. Daniel? Yes. Victor looked at Noah. He found out who Black Meridian's leader was. And you? I found out too. Who is it? Victor looked at me. Daniel Rook. We have to move. Why? Because your arrest was only the first step. Victor pulled a file from his jacket. Black Meridian is preparing coordinated attacks against several government leaders. And me? They will make the evidence point to you. I stared at the file. They want the country to believe I became a terrorist. My arrest was preparation. Exactly. The attacks will happen soon. I heard my phone ring. Mara. I answered. Ethan, where are you? It does not matter. Tell me why you called. I know who leads Black Meridian. I already know. Daniel. There was silence. Then Mara whispered. How did you find out? Victor told me. Her breathing changed. Then you know Lucas is with him. My heart dropped. What? Daniel took Lucas. When? Tonight. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Because I was trying to find him myself. You should have called me. I was afraid you would refuse. After everything you did, you still think I would leave your brother? I don't know what you will do. I closed my eyes. For a moment, I remembered the handcuffs. I remembered her silence. I remembered the pain of hearing my own wife call me a traitor. Then her voice broke. Please, Ethan. I need your help. I opened my eyes. Where is Daniel? I don't know. Then find out. I am trying. Mara, listen. I will get Lucas back. Her voice became quiet. Even after what I did, I'm not doing this for you. I know. I am doing it because Lucas does not deserve to die for your choices. I heard her crying. Thank you. Do not thank me yet. I ended the call. Victor watched me. You were going after him? Yes. After everything Mara did? Yes. Why? I looked at Noah and the files. Because Daniel wants me to become exactly what he says I am. A bitter man. A violent man. A man who believes betrayal gives him permission to destroy everyone. Victor nodded. And you refuse? I picked up my weapon. I refuse. I could have walked away. I could have let Mara lose Lucas. Part of me wanted her to suffer. But I knew where that road ended. If I chose revenge over an innocent life, Daniel would win before I ever reached him. I looked at Victor. Take Noah somewhere safe. What are you going to do? I'm going to bring Lucas home. And after that, I looked toward the dark hallway. After that, I end Black Meridian. Not with rage. Not with revenge. With the truth. I knew who I wanted to become. Not the monster my enemies expected. The man who survived them. Working beside Mara felt like walking through a room filled with broken glass. Every word hurt. Every silence hurt more. She looked at me. You still do not trust me. I should not. I know. Then tell me everything. She took a breath. Years ago, I discovered Daniel was building Black Meridian inside the government. Why did you stay silent? I tried to expose him. And? He threatened Lucas. I looked away. What did he have? Proof of an old operation. Enough to destroy Lucas. So you became part of his network. Slowly. I hated hearing that. You could have told me. I was afraid. You were afraid. So you let them destroy me? Mara's eyes filled with tears. I thought I was protecting you. You arrested me. I did. You call me a traitor. I know. You watched them put handcuffs on me. Her voice broke. Because I knew what would happen if I refused. What? Daniel wanted you executed. I stared at her. Then why am I alive? Because I changed the order. What did you change? The execution clause. I removed it. I cannot breathe. You secretly changed my arrest order? Yes. You chose prison for me. I chose the only place Daniel could not reach you quickly. I looked at her. You should have told me. I wanted to. Then why didn't you? Because Daniel was watching every move I made. I turned away. I still hated what she had done. But for the first time, I understood the choice she had made. Not forgiveness. Understanding. Where's Lucas? Mara looked at me. Daniel moved him before we arrived. Then we find him. We followed the location Victor gave us. I entered the building first. Lucas was tied to a chair. Mara ran toward him. Lucas. I cut the restraints. Are you hurt? I am okay. Mara hugged him. I watched them for a moment. Then I heard footsteps. Daniel's men. Move. I pushed Lucas toward the exit. Mara followed. We escaped seconds before the building filled with smoke. Daniel was gone. He had escaped again. Lucas looked at me. Why'd you come back for me? Because leaving you behind would have changed me. He looked at Mara. She thought you would hate us. I did before. Mara lowered her head. I don't know what I feel. Lucas whispered, thank you. I nodded. Do not thank me. Stay alive. Mara stepped toward me. Ethan, I need you to know one more thing. What? I never stopped loving you. I looked at her. Love does not erase consequences. I know. And it does not rebuild trust overnight. I know. Then we understand each other. For once, she did not argue. We left the building together, but I knew our lives had changed. I had spent years believing Mara was my enemy. Now I knew she had been trapped inside the nightmare. That did not make her innocent. It made the truth harder to accept. I would protect Lucas. I would stop Daniel. After that, Mara and I would face future. My phone buzzed. Clara, turn on the news. I did. Her investigation was everywhere. Government contracts, secret payments, Black Meridian records. Officials were named on live television. Adrian called immediately. Ethan, listen carefully. I am listening. I am ordering a national security lockdown. How bad is it? Worse than we expected. Daniel has access to too many systems. Then we find him. Adrian went silent. I know where he may strike. Where? I looked at Mara. Her. What? Mara is the target. Why her? Because Daniel knows she can expose him. And if he kills her, he can blame it on me. Adrian understood immediately. Get her somewhere secure. Too late. My phone received a message. A video opened. Daniel appeared on the screen. I watched him smile. Ethan. I said nothing. You have been very difficult to kill. What do you want? Daniel laughed. I want you to understand something. This was never about your career. Then what was it? Control. You took Mara from me. I did not take anything from you. You took her loyalty. I looked at Mara. Daniel continued. She chose you. She chose survival. He smiled again. Tonight, that choice ends. My hand tightened around the phone. If you touch her, I will find you. I hope you do. The screen flickered. Then Daniel leaned closer. Ethan, you spent your life protecting your country. He paused. Tonight, let's see whether you can protect the woman who betrayed you. The video ended. I looked at Mara. She was terrified. I was angry. But this time, my anger had direction. Daniel had made one mistake. He had given me something worth protecting. I knew I might not survive the night. Adrian looked at me across the command room. Once we enter, there is no turning back. I know. Daniel has locked down the communications center. Then we take it back. Noah checked his weapon. His agents are ready. Victor looked at the screens. The system is broadcasting false evidence already. I watched the footage. My face appeared beside photographs of dead officials. Mara was shown beside me. The message claimed we had planned everything together. Daniel wanted the country to see me as a murderer. Clara looked at me. If we expose his confession, the story collapses. Then let's get it. Elena touched my arm. Be careful. I smiled. I will try. That is not good enough. I looked at her. I will come back. Mara entered the room. She was wearing body armor. I stared at her. You're going inside? I have to. You stay behind me. She shook her head. This time, I protect you. We entered from separate sides. The building erupted into gunfire. I moved through the corridor with Noah. Left. I turned. 2 men appeared. I dropped behind cover. Noah fired. Clear. We moved forward. Victor's voice came through my earpiece. Ethan, Daniel is in the main control room. Can you reach him? Yes. Do not let him access the central transmitter. I heard Clara. I am inside the backup network. Give me 2 minutes. You have one. I reached the control room. The doors opened. Daniel stood behind Mara. His weapon was pressed against her head. Ethan, I raised my gun. Let her go. Daniel smiled. Drop your weapon. No. Then she dies. Mara looked at me. Do not shoot. I could see fear in her eyes. Daniel laughed. You spent your life protecting people. Now choose. I wanted to kill him. Every part of me screamed for it. He had destroyed my career. He had used Mara. He had taken Noah. He had murdered people. One shot could end everything. Then I remembered the man I had decided to become. I lowered my weapon. Daniel stared at me. You are weaker than I thought. No, I am finished being controlled by anger. Clara's voice came through my earpiece. I have the network. Now, I pressed a control on the console. Daniel's microphone activated. His voice echoed through every government channel. What did you do? I smiled. Tell them everything. Daniel froze. The recording began playing. His own voice filled the building. Every order, every threat, every confession. Daniel looked at the screens. No. The broadcast spread across the country. Clara had connected every public channel she could reach. Daniel turned toward me. You cannot do this. I already did. He shoved Mara aside and raised his weapon. I moved before he fired. The shot struck Mara. Mara collapsed. Mara. I caught her before she hit the floor. Daniel tried to escape. Noah tackled him. Stay down. Victor secured his weapon. Daniel screamed. You think this changes anything? I looked at him. Everything changes tonight. Adrian entered with armed officers. Daniel Rook, you're under arrest. Daniel stared at me. This is not over. I looked down at Mara. For you it is. I carried Mara into the hallway. Her breathing was weak. Ethan, I am here. I am sorry. Do not talk. I need you to hear me. I looked into her eyes. I am listening. I never wanted this. I know. I never wanted to hurt you. I know. Can you forgive me? My throat tightened. I understand why you did it. She closed her eyes. But understanding is not the same as forgetting. Tears ran down her face. That is fair. Stay with me. I will try. The medical team arrived. They took her from my arms. I stood there covered in her blood. Noah came beside me. She will make it. You do not know that. No, but I know she is still fighting. Behind us, the screens showed Daniel's confession. Black Meridian was collapsing. Agents were being arrested. Officials were being questioned. The truth was finally public. We had won, but victory did not feel like victory. I looked through the medical room window. Mara was still fighting for her life. I whispered the only thing I could say. I had questions, but I needed her alive. Come back. I have not forgiven you yet, but I am not ready to lose you either. Mara survived. Those were the first words I needed to hear. The doctor looked at me. She will live. I closed my eyes. Thank you. Her injuries are serious. She will need months of rehabilitation. Will she return to intelligence? No. I nodded slowly. Maybe that was the first consequence she had to accept. Daniel was publicly exposed within days. Black Meridian collapsed after the evidence became public. Names appeared across every news channel. Officials resigned. Agents were arrested. General Hale gave his statement 2 weeks later. I watched him on television. Fear made me weak, he said. I knew Ethan was innocent, but I allowed the conspiracy to continue because I was afraid of what would happen if I opposed it. I turned the television off. I did not hate him. I understood fear better than I wanted to. Clara published her full investigation the next morning. Noah returned to active duty. Before he left, he visited me. You coming back? I shook my head. Not yet. You should. Maybe someday. He smiled. You finally look tired. I laughed. I have been tired for years. Elena came to see me later. She studied my face. You finally look like yourself again. I looked at her. Do I? Yes. I did not feel like myself. The man who had entered that house before his arrest was gone. I had trusted easily. I had lived for duty. I had believed protecting everyone was the same as living. It was not. A week later, I visited Mara before she left for a secure rehabilitation program. She sat near the window. I walked inside. You came. I promised I would. She looked at me. Do you hate me? I sat across from her. I hated what you did to me. Her eyes lowered. But I do not want to spend the rest of my life hating you. She looked back at me. Does that mean you forgive me? I shook my head. Not yet. I understand why you made your choices. But understanding is not forgetting. I know. I looked at the wedding ring on her hand. Are you going to keep it? She touched it. I do not know. Neither do I. Silence filled the room. Can we start again someday? I thought about it. I do not know. She nodded. That is honest. It is all I have left to give you. She smiled sadly. Then give yourself a life, Ethan. I stood. Take care of yourself, Mara. You too. We did not promise to reunite. We did not promise to forget. We simply said goodbye. Later that afternoon, Adrian called me to his office. He placed a file on the desk. Another command. I looked at it. You want me back? I want you to lead it. I pushed a file toward him. No. Adrian stared at me. You have spent your entire life doing this. I know. We need someone like you. I stood. I spent years protecting everyone except myself. Ethan, I am done living in the shadows. He was quiet. What will you do? I smiled. I do not know yet. For once, I'm allowed to find out. As I walked through the government building, I remember the day he had saluted me. I had been wearing prison clothes. My hands had been cuffed. Everyone had believed I was a traitor. Then Adrian had stopped in front of me and raised his hand. Commander Vale. At the time, I thought that salute meant I had won. I was wrong. It meant something deeper. It meant that my identity had survived the lies. My dignity had survived the betrayal. My heart had survived the pain. Most importantly, I had survived without becoming the man my enemies wanted me to be. I stepped outside. The sun was rising. For years, I had followed orders. Today, nobody was waiting to tell me where to go. I took one breath. Then I walked forward. No mission, no uniform, no orders. Just me. For the first time in years, my future belonged to me. And that was the only victory I ever truly wanted.